Hi, founders and growth hackers. So this is Willie again, and today we are going to look at Crunchbase evaluation. Well, we are talking about their SEO strategy, and we typically start off with their evaluation. In this case, we are looking at a company only valued at 70 million. It kind of shocked me, to be honest with you. Uh, and it's also not like other video that we have. Typically we review startup that has at least something like 100 million valuation, or most of the time we do SEO strategy review for tech unicorns. But the reason I pick a Crunchbase is because um, they are a pretty good example of structural SEO in a lot of sense. So in this video, we are going to talk about what they do very well and what they should have done better. Okay, so that um, and without further ado, let's get right into it. So first of all, their monthly traffic, as you can see from my SEM Rush accounts, they have organic traffic that's about 24 million monthly, and the authority scores are very high. And you see the majority of the traffic comes from USA and India. So that takes like 67%. Um, and yeah, so this is just an overview of their traffic, right? And if we look at their sources, search, absolutely is 68% of their source, so it's the highest one. Um, Obviously, this is the situation what you call make or break, basically, right? And yeah, majority of the people come to Crunchbase using a desktop. No surprise here. Based on their buyer persona, of course. And they have monthly unique visitors. So UV is 9.7 million. Quite impressive. Um, so, and by the way, if you're wondering what tool, what this tool is, so SEMrush is a spying tool basically for SEO professions. And for disclosure, this is a if you click below, you can have a 30-day free trial, and it's a free affiliate link. And I hope if you use the link, it's a way to support this channel, right? Yeah. So anyway, if you're interested to see what your competitors' keyword best performing pages and their traffic sources, all that, you can use SEMrush, right? So end of the plug. All right, so let's get into the nitty gritty, which is their actual best performing pages. So if here we are looking at what keywords that bring them the most of the traffic. So this means people search Facebook.com, they rank at number A, and they are getting a million. Is that a million? Holy crap! A million. Oh, 1.7 million monthly. Holy crap! Just from Facebook, people Googling Facebook. Okay, Yahoo. Right, so it's easy to spot a pattern, right? So it looks like majority of the people come to pitch deck, come to Crunchbase. Um, on Google, basically by Googling company's name, right? And now, but if you take a closer look, it looks like there are two type of pages that are getting most of their traffic. One is organization, as you can see from the URL here, and then you see the URL says /person, right? So this their investors basically, and of course, organization will also include both startups and VCs, VC firms, because the person could be venture capitalist as well, and it could be a founders too on Crunchbase. But I've done some digging done my homework before a meeting, and so basically there are three types of pages that are getting Crunchbase majority of their traffic from Google, and so that's number one is the organization page. Number two is the person type of page. Number three is they call it a hub, but what it is, it's actually just a category or a tag, tag result page. So this is the listings in here, right? So those are the search result page on Crunchbase. Basically, if you search marketplace company or venture, then you'll find this page. So what I'm trying to say here is that this is called structural SEO. So, structural SEO is a process where you systematically structure a website in a way that your website can systematically rank for different keyword combinations. So in Crunchbase, the keyword combination could be a name, the company name, plus valuation, right? So if you're trying to find a startup's valuation, typically you go Google and then Google, let's just say Facebook market cap, right? Or PitchBook, right? PitchBook valuation, things like that, right? You Google that, so that's a keyword combination, and the way they Crunchbase structure the website, their pages can rank for that. So three types, right? Organization, right? And then there's the person, right? So the venture capitalist individual, and you Google their portfolio, etc. Then you find Crunchbase, right? So that's different keyword combination for the person page, and you have the hub page, right? The hub, and that's really a list, listing. List result page or search result page, right? So, it three types, and now what I'm going to talk about from now is what they could have done better. Actually, they have a lot of room for improvement. So number one is those hub pages, is that they didn't create enough of them. And here's what I mean. If you're trying to find a venture capital firm for gaming, if you are a gaming startup, right? Or if you are a social media startup, and you Google VCs for social media, right? Then Crunchbase not necessarily rank there. Those are very hot searches, meaning search has a high search volume. And for example, I run a marketplace, and it's a solar equipment procurement platform. And for me to raise funds, I typically will go with, I will search, venture capitalist for climate tech or clean tech. Now that's the opportunity Crunchbase has been missing. And even for this one, they don't even rank at number one. And there are things they could have done to rank at number one, for those existing pages. But for a lot of pages, they simply don't have the page, or they did not optimize the page in a way that, those hub page could rank well. And because it adds up, and there are VCs for different niches, for different industries, right? And like ad tech, like martech, um, government tech, fintech, cryptocurrency, right? People, when founders trying to find VCs, they actually have typically have a niche in mind, and they hope to talk to VCs that are familiar with their industry, so that they can give them some insights as well. It's just not just money, right? And so the on-site SEO is the like the page structure, like in this page, is something they need some more improvement, and they can actually simply make it longer, and with their data they have, it's actually not that hard to rank all those, and for example, um, they can have a section just to explain what's a two-sided marketplace, right? Because every niche has like, you got to have some context in there, right? And that's a great opportunity for them to make the page more informative, and Google love informative and unique pages, right? And that's way to make the pages unique and informative, right? So that's one thing. And of course, interlinks, backlinks, and all that, there's so many things they could have done, but they didn't. The second thing they could have done, and they didn't do very well, and that's SEO driven content marketing. Because think about their target audience. That's two sides of users, right? The VCs and the financing institutes, because it could be bank, and the other part is founders, right? So it's a marketplace to connect them, right? And they are more founders, right? So their content strategy is still focusing on founders, right? But they did not produce very SEO friendly posts, targeting the keywords that founders will search, or how to raise funds, during the pandemic, how to raise funds with Zoom, all those things, right? Because the reason I'm using Crunchbase would be I'm trying to find VCs, right? Not just to check someone's valuation, and not just to check someone's portfolios as well, some VC's portfolio, and of course that too, and that's another opportunity for them to rank well too. So I would say, just to recap, Crunchbase have done pretty well with some part of the structural SEO, some pages such as organization and person page, they rank very, very well on Google. But in terms of those hub page, which is, again, it could be any sort of attributes of the VC or attributes of the startups, they did not executed the structural SEO that well. So that's the first thing. They could have done better, but they didn't. And the other thing is the SEO driven content marketing. Although content marketing can be, you can do content marketing on social media as well. In that content, should be made for social media, of course. But SEO driven content marketing, I'm not seeing it. And with Crunchbase resources, I just think that they could have easily dominated search with that content. So yeah, that's all for this video. We'll see you next time, and don't forget to subscribe this YouTube channel. And I'll see you next time. And if you have any question, any startup you want me to do an SEO review, just comment below. If it's a good content, everybody can. If it's good topics, everybody will benefit, right? So, see you next time. Until then, keep hacking.